Well, almost $1 billion is on the line for 320,000 Ohioans. A Franklin County judge is preparing to rule on a class action lawsuit against the state. This is regarding federal benefits dating back to the pandemic. Our Stephanie Haney investigates for us.
A policy choice from Governor Mike DeWine has left $960 million sitting in an account with the U.S. Department of Labor. That's money that hundreds of thousands of Ohioans are hoping he'll be ordered to ask for so they can each receive $3,000 today that they could have gotten back in the summer of 2021.
Pandemic money from the federal government was a lifeline. I only got like $300 from the state. And I was used to bringing in over $600 a week. So it wasn't really even half of what I was making before.
Candy Bowling is the named plaintiff in a class action lawsuit against Governor Mike DeWine and the state of Ohio. She's one of 320,000 Ohioans fighting for federal unemployment assistance that was part of pandemic relief efforts. It gave unemployed Ohioans an extra $300 per week until our state stopped accepting that money in the summer of 2021.
The governor announced he was going to cut that off. It kind of angered me. Why would you give up assistance from the federal government that was meant to help the people and the state of Ohio? I mean, it not only helps the people pay their bills, buy their food, get medications, but it also helped the businesses stay afloat.
Attorney Mark Dan, who has taken up this case, says what's at stake here is $300 per week for 10 weeks. That's $3,000 each for 320,000 Ohioans and adds up to $960 million in federal money. I asked DeWine's office why he would refuse to accept this money that's been appropriated for Ohioans, and his press secretary Dan Tierney told me, quote, "The July 2021 to September 2021 time period referenced was after the pandemic emergency had ended. In recent years, including those in question, Ohio has had more open jobs than workers to fill them. Providing emergency supplemental benefits well after the conditions necessitating them had ended was sending the wrong message when Ohio was open for business." Mark Dan disagrees.
They continued to take the position that people who were receiving unemployment benefits were unlikely to apply for jobs. Anybody who's been unemployed understands that that's not the case.
In addition to refuting the state's allegations that assistance kept people from working, the Dan law firm says Ohio law in 2021 required the governor to accept and distribute this money.
The 10th District Court of Appeals has said that they have to do everything possible to get every possible benefit.
Ohio law changed in October of 2023 to spell out that the state is not required to accept federal benefits, specifically those that were part of coronavirus relief efforts. When I asked if the ongoing lawsuit had anything to do with the change in law, DeWine spokesperson told me, quote, "I must decline comment on the pending litigation." Attorney Brian Flick with Dan Law says this only strengthens their client's case.
Because it is clear that Governor DeWine violated the law, Governor DeWine should be made to make the ask to the Department of Labor for these funds.
The U.S. Department of Labor assured us in writing by way of an affidavit that the funds, which is about $900 million for Ohioans, was still available and appropriated, and that all Governor DeWine had to do is ask for it.
Mark Dan tells me Judge Michael Holbrook could rule on the case at any minute, and every time he gets a notification from Franklin County, he's hoping it means victory for his clients. In the newsroom, Stephanie Haney, 3 News Investigates.